Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of Beckett Hockey Monthly Review. So on today's episode, we are going to analyze and review the February 1991 issue, issue number 4. And as you can see on the cover, Mario Lemieux in the old All-Star jersey. So that's a pretty cool throwback right there. I believe that may have been the Campbell Conference or Wells Conference, one of the two. And there is one of his upper deck cards where he reached a milestone. So let's get this underway. And on the inside is a nice painting, artist drawing, pretty sweet and detailed, of Rick Tocchet. Then he was on the Philadelphia Flyers. So that's pretty sweet. You can see the detail. Artist signature on the bottom. Pretty nice. There you go. And you've seen all these ads, so I'm just going to skip that and not even mention them. And here's the table of contents for this issue. So some of the articles that are in this particular issue of Beckett. There you go. There's a nice vintage Bobby Orr. And here's just some of the regular features that they had, who's on the covers, which we will see eventually. There we go. And that's the Phil Esposito and Bobby Orr. Must have been at a Boston Bruins Legends game. So on to the next one. This is cool. The anonymous superstar, Joe Sakic. He's not anonymous now, obviously, but back then he was just starting out. Quebec wasn't the most successful franchise. They were still struggling. And Joe Sakic. That is pretty cool. The anonymous superstar. Went on to a Hall of Fame career, 1,600 points, 600 plus goals, 2 Stanley Cups, multiple Olympic gold medals. My personal favorite player. Yeah, so I'm just going to show you this article. If you want to give it a quick read. Some of these I will read myself at some point. There's this Pro Set card. Despite the lack of publicity, fans and collectors, no matter what language they speak, are starting to embrace this budding superstar. Yeah, referring to Joe Sakic. Sakic's rookie cards, and just discussing his standing in the hobby at that point. So here's some more. Right here it reads, when you look at our record last year, it is almost unbelievable that a 20-year-old got 102 points and our second leading scorer got 36 points or something like that, said former teammate Lucien Dubois. Wow. That's crazy. Yeah, Joe Sakic just tore up the ice with the Quebecs in his early career. There's more of it. If you want to pause, give it a read. As always, here is the top. Continuing. And here is more. And the picture is him in the All-Star game. So there's Mike Modano, who played opposite of him, and that's the Sakic checklist. He didn't have many cards up to this point. This is the mainstream issues. Pretty cool. And here is continuation of the article. For Joe Sakic. I'm going to try to not make this as lengthy of a video. The last few have been just really long. Yeah, here's Joe Sakic in action. Read the caption on that. Wheeling and Dealin. So this refers to the when players are traded. So all these players were traded, like Phil Housley, Dale Hawerchuk. These two were traded for each other back in the 1990 season. So yeah, Joe Mullen, Chelios, and a few others. Jeff Courtnall, Peter Zessel, and Dealin. So let me go over this. Just discusses how trades impacted their cards. Free agency as well. And it still applies to this day, but not as much since it's more advanced. There we go. Here's the continuation. The blockbusters. So let's just read this for a moment. The three biggest deals, however, took place last summer. Buffalo and Winnipeg. The swap saw Phil Housley traded for Scott Arniel and Jeff Parker. And they all got traded for Dale Hawerchuk. Hawerchuk was still a prominent player at this time. So that's pretty cool. Some interesting backstory on some old trades. There's a continuation. Sorry if that was a sudden turn, but talking about Denis Savard on Montreal. And I believe, if I'm not mistaken, he got traded to... Yeah, he was traded from Chicago, if I'm not mistaken. And he got traded for Chris Chelios. So a lot of big names that were prominent during this time. And then there's some smaller deals. You can just give that a quick read. Actually, no, so this continues. Not a fan of the layout of this sometimes. There we go. Give it a quick read. There we go. And here's a picture of one of the players that got traded, Chris Chelios. And wow, this just keeps going. So, pretty lengthy article, but a cool read nonetheless. Talking about the Leafs that got traded. Tom Curvers. He got traded for the draft pick who turned out to be Scott Niedermayer. Wow, what a blunder that was by the Leafs to give up him. Let's talk about Joe Mullen, Hall of Fame player, I believe he is. I could be mistaken, but yeah. And there we go. Rob Brown. Some old school names that ended up getting traded. Here is the hot list and cold list. Milestones, new teams, and new faces, highlighting the 1991 season. So give this a quick read. Wayne Gretzky, despite reaching the 2,000 point mark, Gretzky fell from the top hotspot. So Gretzky fell. Pardon the noise in the background. Yeah, so here's the Hall of Fame. There we go. So yeah, here today. So some of the players that were prominent on the hot list dropped at this point. So Hall, Gretzky, Arsman, Neely, Sakic, Lindros, Wog, Lemieux, Cullen, Messier, Bourque, Bobby Orr, Pat LaFontaine. The LA Kings were still prominent. Roenick, Turgeon, Turcotte, Prosett was still on the hot list. Mike McDaniel, El McInnes, and here's the cold list. Lemieux, Fuhrer, Hextall, Curry, Messier, Oilers, the Leafs, Coffey, Chelios, and Pat LaFontaine. Those were just players that weren't sung as well. So, you've seen all of this in the previous issues. I'm going to just go do a wide angle shot of the price guide. And we'll focus on some key cards now in a moment. Fleur. Rookie. There we go. I'm trying to get a wide shot for you all. Sweet. Here's the $1.79. So Gretzky's rookie still at. Wow, if you could zoom in, that would be great. Or focus. Yeah, that's not going to focus. It's just being stubborn. Okay, so there we go. Let's get some of these here. I don't know why it's not focusing. Just being stubborn. There we go. So Ray Bork, $15. Just a sample. Danny Savard's rookie was $16 at the time. Gretzky. Paul Coffey's rookie was $50. Andy Moog, $15. Wow. That is crazy. How cards have changed. But if age and those players going on to Hall of Fame careers, obviously they were going to go up. So here's some more. And again, let's hope this focuses. There we go. Perfect. So, yeah, Wayne Gretzky, $17. This is the 83-84 set. So let's see. Steve Larmer was $8. Wow. Bernie Nichols, $15. Wow. That's crazy. Carbonell rookie, 75 cents. Wow. Okay. 84-85 OPG. There's some more here. I won't go into this too much detail. Irisman rookie, $37.50. Yep. There we go. Doug Gilmour's rookie was only $2.50 at the time. That is crazy. Chelios was $7.50. Cam Neely was up to $37. Wow. There we go. Patrick Waugh experienced movement. Patrick Waugh still $30. Wow. So enough of that. Here's some of the 90s stuff. Entering the mass-produced stuff. As usual, up arrows, down arrows on just random cards. Like this right here. Joe Sakic's rookie went up to $5 at this time. Pretty cool. $5, yeah. There we go. Opeachy Premier, they spelt it French for whatever reason. But this set is still popular to this day. But not much value there. Like a Sergei Fedorov was $3. Hall. And then there's the next tier right here. Where is the Yager? The Yager was worth 90 cents. That's unbelievable. Wow. So this is when it was new. People just didn't catch interest for it. There's Pro Set. Some of the movement here. Yeah, like Wendell Clark went down, Krutov. Some of the Darianov, 25 cents. Right here. Okay, moving on. There's the Patrick Waugh. So, yeah, that's the all rookie teams. And here's some of the rookies. So, Lindros went up to $7. Broder was still 15 cents. There we go. Where is Yager? Recce? Yeah, Yager must have been only worth a couple cents at this point still. Trying to find them, but it's proving tricky. Yager, where are you two? Yeah, Yager went up to $1. Moving on. That's 90-91 upper deck. Okay, there's some normal stuff here. The photos on the 1991 score prototype make them easy to tell apart. So this is the picture that they used to use. Turns out it was a promo card, the prototype. But that's changed. So here's reader's right. So I'm going to just go over some of this stuff. Pick a random one. So let's start discussing this card. What do I have? I would like to see some suggestions on keeping inventory for small and moderately sized collections, especially for people who don't have a computer. Oh. That's kind of cool. Just discusses ways they did it. Trick or OPG clubbing around. There we go. You can pause the video. Have a quick read if you want. What people used to write into the editor of Beckett. Right here. After you, I insist. So this is the Lady Bing winners. Most gentlemen players. There we go. Yeah, so this is another factoid, little fact box for Beckett. Pittsburgh Penguins. So the home team doesn't always have an advantage. In fact, these 5 teams probably would have preferred to play on the road. So that's all their wins on the road and away from home. Some pretty interesting stats. Into the net. So Upper Deck's Premier. I don't know why they're spelling Premier that way, but okay. Premier Hockey issues slashes past the crusty cardboard veterans and ambitious rookies to split the pipes with a tremendous slap shot. So Upper Deck was on their way to establishing themselves on the market. So some really cool photos like Theo Fleury. Some nice action shots on the back that still are nice and cool to look at even to this day, even though the cards are mass produced. Yeah. So right here just discusses some of the elements that made Upper Deck stand out in the hockey card world at this time. Okay. Here's an interesting article on Kevin Lowe. So by this time, Gretzky had left the Edmonton Oilers in that trade, and Kevin Lowe took over as the captain. And I don't recall if Messier was captain, but anyway, here's a little article on Kevin Lowe. So I can get that. Nice action shot. Here we go. Let's just keep that other one because that's the next start. Here's his 88-89 OPG card. And I'll just pan across this for everyone so everyone can have a read. See what it's about. So yeah, Kevin Lowe, minus his managerial skills, which were pretty atrocious, was a solid defenseman for the Oilers in the 80s. Yeah. So as always, it just brings up how the Oilers were in when Gretzky was on the team, and then afterwards. 1,000 career games up to this point for Kevin Lowe. There we go. And then there's the All-Star Classic, so this should be really cool to check out. And let's just give this one a quick glance. And I'm up to 19 minutes. Okay, I'm going to try to hurry this up. Yeah, the All-Star game. Team captains Mario Lemieux and Wayne Gretzky meet with Rocket Richard and Alex Delvecchio. That's a cool shot. That is a lot of talent in one photo. And here we go. Patrick Waugh, Danny Potvin, and Steve Yzerman That's a nice action shot right there. Sorry about the glare of the light. Off the old magazine. So this right here, I'm just going to pan across this quickly. Lemieux and Pro Set. Interesting. All-Star formats. So the All-Star game has changed numerous times over the last 20 years. It went from east to west, North America and the world, and now it's just different conferences, and now it's just all over the place. Still fun to watch, but it's kind of lost some of its appeal. I don't know where I'm going there. It's lost some of its appeal, in my opinion. But it's still cool to watch. Here's a nice action shot. Mario Lemieux on Patrick Waugh. Pretty sweet action shots from the All-Star game. Here's Gretzky and Coffey. Former teammates who were facing each other. There we go. So moving on. Triple crown line. So this is discussing the LA Kings in the 80s. Marcel Dionne, Charlie Simmer, and Dave Taylor. They dominated LA before when Gretzky came. And the miracle on Manchester, when I believe it was the Kings that beat the Oilers back in the early 80s. And that was a huge upset. It's pretty cool. You can just YouTube that. I'm sure there's footage of it around. Cool. Quick little article. There's Marcel Dionne getting his jersey retired. Yeah, pretty cool. And this is neat. So some of the stats checklist on those three players, Dionne, Taylor, and Charlie Simmer. A little bit of an article there. And there's their cards from the 83-84 Topps, or O-Pee-Chee set, sorry. Sorry if my voice is a little strained, it's just, I haven't been feeling the best. But, I'm hoping you are all enjoying this video. Might be a bit boring, but pause it and give everything a quick glance if you want. This is pretty cool. Here's an article on Mark Recchi, who was a young gun, a young player at this point. Started with Pittsburgh, won back-to-back Stanley Cups, and then he went on to Philly and then Montreal. So here is the article. Mark Recchi on the early 90s Pittsburgh Penguins. Pretty powerful group with Yager, Lemieux, Kevin Stevens. And then you had Barrasso in that. Coffey on defense. They were a stacked team. They were not to be messed with. Pretty cool. And there's a picture of his score rookie. Here we go. This is pretty cool. So there's a nice photo of Bobby Hall. You can tell Beckett was just starting out because they had the same articles and the same players over and over again. But they had to go back and show the older players, because a lot of the younger crowd didn't know much of the older players, I guess. So just a quick read on Bobby Hall. Actually, let me get that one out of there. There we go. So you can give that a read. Bobby Hall, who played in the NHL and the WHA. Yeah. The original Hall still is one of the best ever to play the game. There's his 66, 67 Parkhurst. It's Surprise catch. Discussing Mark Greg. His career didn't go anywhere, unfortunately, but still pretty prominent on the junior leagues. He did make the NHL, even if it was for a few games. So there's an article on Mark Greg, or however you say his name. And then, this is the final page of the Beckett. And it's a beautiful artist drawing of Bill Ranford, I believe. I don't think that's Fuhr. I think that's Bill Ranford. I could be mistaken, but still incredible detail. It's just going on detail on this. Sweet. The Oilers logo, the pads, everyone's just drawing in high detail. And on the back, that's a really cool photo. Joe Sakic taking a slap shot in the All-Star game. He's wearing, the bottom half is the All-Star gear and the top half is his Quebec Nordiques jersey. Wow. That is pretty sweet. So yeah, that's this Beckett review. Hope you all enjoyed. Another trip down memory lane. Stay tuned for more. Leave a like, comment, and subscribe. Thanks for watching. Bye everyone.